Rogers TV.
Hey, welcome to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. I have been looking forward to this sit-down interview for quite some time, and I'm sure many of you out there have as well. We start off the show in the living room. I know it's a little unusual because we usually start off in our kitchen area and demo area, but we're starting off here in the living room with a sit-down with our new nightlife commissioner here in Ottawa. Mathieu Grondin joins me. Mathieu, welcome. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
You and I were just talking about, your role and how there's, so much confusion involved. I just shared a funny story with one of my friends. Oh, does that mean when Mark Sutcliffe is done for the day, the night mayor takes over? Let's tell everybody at home what your role is. Tell us a little bit about your role as nightlife commissioner.
Well, first let's clear the confusion. I work from 9 to 5.
Right.
Even though I'm the nightlife commissioner, it's a daytime job. It's a bureaucratic job. I work inside city administration. I'm like at the intersection between the civic partners, the external partners, so the business owners, the event promoters, the festival organizers, and then you have all the different city services inside the city administration that I can interact with, and of course there's the political. So my job really is to try and dynamize and manage nightlife activities in Ottawa and implement the nightlife economy action plan that was voted last year by council.
When you look at Ottawa and you think about our nightlife reputation, what comes to mind for you?
What comes to mind to you? For you, I think before I came, as you know, I'm from Montreal.
Yes.
I really didn't have that much of a preconception of what nightlife was in Ottawa. When I got here, I think a lot of people like to refer to that negative reputation of a quiet city, government workers city. The city I'm discovering, because I've moved here a little over 2 months ago, is a quite dynamic city for nightlife. There's a great food and restaurant scene, that's for sure. And there's cool small venues and nightclubs also, very eclectic, very diverse musically. You have just a byward market to me is something coming from Montreal. We don't even have that in Montreal. It's quite loud at night. There's the windows are open, there's music, people are out partying. You have a folk singer on one side, a heavy metal on the other side, drag queens, techno, hip hop. I like this diversity.
Is there a city, and I know you're from Montreal, a lot of people compare Ottawa and Montreal, but if you just look worldwide, and a lot of people look towards Europe these days as well, is there a city that maybe you look at and I'd like to implement what they have in that city here in Ottawa?
Well, we gotta, of course, there's like the big metropolises, which are like nightlife landmarks like Paris, London, Berlin, Amsterdam. If we're gonna take a comparison, try and find a city that can be compared to Montreal, one city I visited, I thought it's mid-sized city, a capital. People might be surprised. It's Vilnius in Lithuania, and
really?
Vilnius has a really, really super cool, super dynamic nightlife. I think there's like over 200 bars with music, and you can go around all night, bar hopping from one place to the next. It's a great student city, as Ottawa is too, and it's got a great economy. So we might have a little bit of work to do right now on that, but that's I think right now what's happening with Ottawa, with the creation of the Nightlife Commissioner Office, the adoption of the action plan, there's a momentum that we're building right now, and I'm very optimistic about the near future.
Yeah, you mentioned to me before the show you've spoken to about 70 people plus so far, right? In just an 8 or 9 week period. What are you hearing mostly from those people?
Well, it depends who you talk to. Of course, as always, when you talk to business operators, business owners, they'll come up with the red tape that the city imposes on them. That's a common theme globally around the world, I think. I think what a lot of people are telling me is actually there's a lot of events and activities going on in Ottawa, but the word doesn't get out.
Yes.
The information is fragmented, and some stuff is happening there and over there, and you don't hear about it.
I couldn't agree more. This, and I've heard this for years, right?
Yeah.
Is where is the spot we can go to find out everything that's happening in the city, instead of having to go, I'm looking for music, so I have to go to the music venue itself. I have to go to the Rainbows site. I have to go to Yuck Yucks or Absolute Comedy, instead of, is that something you're working on as a team?
It is part of the 10 recommendations of the action plan.
Okay.
One of the recommendations is to look into, could the city provide an online resource, a tool, an app to try and amalgamate all this information. I think there's already a lot of people are trying to do their little bit of thing, one place here, one the other place there, but I think we can maybe try and concentrate that. But mind you, this is an issue you have almost everywhere, because it's since the disappearance of cultural newspapers at the end of the 90s. At the end of these papers, you would have the listings of what's going on this weekend, and everything was there. I would pick these newspapers up. That betrays my age, but
I'm the same.
Where are we going this weekend? And now it's on Instagram. It's a bit on Facebook. There's some guy on TikTok. So you really got to know. So,
when we look at the nightlife, you and I again spoke before the show. You're talking about all of Ottawa. This encompasses everything, but a major part of what many people are talking about is that Byward Market that you mentioned. That there is exciting things happening, but there's that safety and security issue as well. Where does that sit on the list of priorities?
Well, I think we have to. I think there's at least two problems of safety in the byword. There's one problem that relates to gun crime, violent crimes, and that's a police issue. And there's another problem that relates more to homelessness, mental health crisis, drug use in the public space. Mind you, that's a problem that's it's there during the day too, so it's not limited to nightlife. I think they've just opened a new police station there. There's a lot of mediation program that the Byward Market District Authority is implementing. I'm hoping we're going to see change in the next few months, and that we're in a transition. There's been a lot of concentration of different shelters, so that's why you see the concentration of these problems, these issues.
I'm down to about a minute, but just quickly, bylaw reviews. The bylaws have always been, you talked about businesses going red tape. Bylaw reviews. Are you looking into that too?
There's already a general bylaw review that's starting now, is going to unfold next year, and will be voted early 2026 at council. And as part of that, there will be a nightlife lens applied to it. To which extent, it's too early to tell you right now.
Right. Well, congratulations on the role. 9 weeks in, looking forward to sitting down with you again. I'm sure we'll do this often.
Probably,
throughout the next few months. But really appreciate you taking the time today. Thank you very much.
Feel free to reach out and invite me again. I'll be happy to join you.
Wonderful. Really appreciate it. Hey, don't go away. We got lots more coming up after the break. We'll be back with more Daytime right after this.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade. I hope you join us for an hour to give right here on Rogers TV. We're going to talk about everything that is going to inspire you about this beautiful city.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university. So they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Hey everybody, my name is Karen. I'm here with my best friends Shane and Monique. Join us on Rogers TV for Fitness Faction. Every week we're going to take you through a full body workout. We've got strength training, we've got cardio, we've got HIIT. Ladies, let's get back into it.
I think we've got 10 more skaters. Let's go.
Are you a content creator looking to expand your audience and make your voice heard in your community? Rogers TV wants to provide you with a platform to share your hobbies, interests, and stories for free. Visit us to find out more.
Welcome back to the show. Excited to introduce you to my next guest because just a long storied, incredible history here in the Ottawa area and introducing people to dance in many different forms. And I am talking of the Bolf Dance Academy and Company, and I am joined by Madame Bolf and Ms. Rosemary. Welcome to you both. Great to have you here.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Madame Bolf, let me start with you and take me back to 1957 and the inspiration behind starting this beautiful academy.
The inspiration was to try to make as many people happy as possible through the various forms of dance. We didn't limit our studios to ballet or classical ballet. That was a time when there were no wise teaching or anybody, so we are pioneers in the field of producing talent and enjoying their progress. It was a joyous time with a lot of television performances, and not only did we have professional dancers coming out of the studio, but my own daughters, Miss Rosemary and Miss Nadine, they later on helped. It was a home production. Everybody in the family, 5 children, the husband, and myself, we all worked, well, sometimes with each other and sometimes
yeah, of
not
course.
so perfectly together. But the point was to bring joy through movement. And I did a lot of lectures, taught at our academy, taught also at the Bolf Dance Academy and Company, and then I also taught at the Ottawa University, which was called psychomotor, which had to do with people who had difficulties. So I learned as I was teaching, and it was a great, wonderful opportunity to serve the Ottawa Valley and also Aylmer. We had many subdivisions. At the time when people couldn't come into the city, we went out, Rosemary as well.
Nice.
And so I thank everyone who was our student and parents and everyone who was enthusiastic like myself to be blessed to do this type of work, which I'm enjoying, and now I'm fourscore close, fourscore 10.
Right.
And the dancing helped me personally.
Oh, I can imagine.
I don't feel like 89.
You don't look 89. That is for
Thank
sure.
you.
I mean, we were just going through, Ms. Rosemary, and looking at some of the older pictures. What was it like for you growing up and working in the family business? Because as Madame both just said, you all worked as a family together.
We did, and it was a different growing up experience having a dance school in our home.
Yeah.
So we shared our home with our dance family. It was really a family, and we still consider it a dance family. And there were some ups and downs, but as a dancer myself, growing into becoming a teacher and then taking over the school, it's been a unique life experience.
I can imagine. Madame Both, I think one of the really unbelievable stories is the NAC stage that you and your husband were asked to come and have a look at. Can you just describe that moment to our viewers?
Yes. My husband, Mr. John Radish, was an architect and was the project architect at the National Arts Center. And he invited me and he said, honey, come on over and check out the stage. Well, honey did a few jumps and jetés and turns, and I said, this floor is terrible. It is not a sprung floor. And when the National Ballet will come, where I studied also, I said, they are going to hurt their legs. Their legs will be broken after, their muscles will be injured.
For what reason? Is that because it was concrete underneath?
It was concrete underneath, and then they had to strip it off, and they put in a sprung floor.
I see. Okay.
And so this is how I met Mr. Trudeau, the father, Pierre.
You have a reunion coming up.
We do.
Rosemary. I mean, there must be hundreds of alumni, I mean,
yes,
beginning
thousands.
Yeah, exactly.
Thousands.
How are you reaching out? How are they able to get in touch with you?
Well, we're trying to expose a little bit here. We have it coming up on Sunday, September 8th at the Glebe Community Center, also known as GNAG, from 1:30 to 4:30. And so we invite our dance family to come and our friends to come and enjoy sort of celebrating Madame Bolf and what Bolf Dance Academy and Company has done for the community.
Madame Bolf, a lot of success stories, right, out of your academy. And as you said, not just dance performers, I mean, various artists. I mean, how proud are you to, look back in this incredible history and just see how many success stories have come out of your academy?
Very humbled and grateful. And I have to say, there are choreographers who came out. They were professional ballerinas. By the way, a ballerina is not anybody just who wears a tutu.
Right.
It's the person who is at the top of the company, whether it's a ballerino, a male or a female. So it is very important to sparingly apply that. And then there are main dancers. So we had a lot of choreographers coming out, men dancers, women dancers, and many of our students went into the teaching field. They were a little inspired by us, and they went into teaching field. So the Ottawa Valley is full of students who 40 years ago, 30, 25 years ago, opened their own studios, who were qualified and who are teaching.
Well, yeah, and that's part of the great legacy.
That's the joyous part.
Exactly.
That's really the joy of it.
Madame Bolf, thank you so much. Rosemary, wonderful to see you again. Thank you both for being here. Really appreciate it. By the way, there's a Facebook group out. It's Bolf Dance Company alumni, so you can get in touch with Rosemary and Madame Bolf through that as well if you want to be part of that. And I'll remind you at the end of the show about it as well. We'll be back with more right after.
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV. I'm Jillian Turman. Support those in need with Shepherds of Good Hope, a beacon of compassion in Ottawa. Offering essential services like shelter, food, and addiction treatment, they empower individuals to reclaim their lives. Your donation or volunteer efforts make a real difference. Join the mission and create an environment where everyone has the chance to thrive. Visit shepherdsofgoodhope.com to learn more. Discover the power of change with Tamarack Institute. Their website offers resources, workshops, and strategies to help you create a vibrant, engaged society. From tackling poverty to fostering collaboration, they provide the tools you need. Check out tamarackcommunity.ca for more details. Watch Derek Fage's Daytime every weekday at 2 p.m. on Rogers TV, Channel 22.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade, host of Ottawa Business Matters. We're going to gather here every single week and speak about business here in the capital. We're going to inspire, influence, and inform.
Welcome back to the show, and I know galas happen throughout the year, but this really, we're beginning to kick off gala season, and there are so many great ones, including the 21st edition now of the Lumiere Gala. They have a theme each and every year. This year's theme is rock. It is Lumiere Rock. It's happening at the Brook Street, and here to tell us more about it, I'm joined by Clifford Linus, who is the executive chef over there. Cliff, welcome to the show. Great to have you back.
Thank you very much.
And Shannon Gorman, the president and CEO of the Queensway Carleton Hospital Foundation. Welcome to you as well, Shannon.
Thanks for having me.
This is something you take so much pride in at Brook Street. Let's just talk a little bit, Clifford, of the history of this gala and why Brook Street felt so compelled to do something like this.
It's always been within our culture to give back, right? To do whatever we can. And with Wesley Clover Foundation, which is a parent company of us, we've always wanted to give back in return. It's been 21 years now. We've been doing it. Like 1.5 million we've raised and donated in the past 21 years. So each year getting bigger, a little more. You got to top yourself every year, right?
Yes, of course.
So, everyone was pretty excited this year around the boardroom table when someone came up with rock and roll. Everyone's like, we really jumped on board with this one. So
nice.
It's a little over the top this year.
And Shannon, so important for the Queensway Carleton Hospital. This is the second year that funds are. How important is it for events like this and helping to support the foundation?
Well, the foundation is so grateful to be the partner for the second year with the Brook Street Hotel and Wesley Clover Foundation, and certainly very grateful for RBC Royal Bank to be the title sponsor of the event. Events like this are crucial for hospital foundations, and we are so grateful. Equipment is not covered by government funding, and most people don't know, but to get equipment, whether it's an MRI machine or a thermometer, it comes from community support. So it's really crucial that we have events like this, that we can really get the word out and certainly have incredible partners to work with. And this event is so much fun.
So does the funds go to anything specific? Do you choose something specific every year, or do you just sort of decide on it, where it's best?
We work with the hospital really closely to determine what the hospital's greatest needs are and their biggest priorities, and that's where the funding from this event last year has gone to.
Okay.
It went to help with equipment purchases, and last year we raised about $120,000, and this year we hope to top that.
Clifford, this must be fun for you and your team, right? Putting together a menu. Obviously you get a theme in mind. This year is rock. Tell me about food and beverage. What have you got planned for this year?
Yeah, it is a huge event for us and really fun. We actually have 11 food stations this year rolling through. I went through and themed it all. So I took a look at riders for other bands. And decided to try and, create something that would be something they would ask for in their riders, or at least use part of it, kind of thing, like Metallica has in their rider bacon with every meal, which as a chef you got to respect it.
Love
right?
it.
It's like, awesome.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
Like, so we're doing a pork belly with that one, that kind of stuff, and then there's the famous no brown M&Ms from Aerosmith, right? So we're doing a no brown M&M cheesecake as one of the desserts, and the other one we have Elvis Presley was peanut butter and banana.
Yeah.
So it's definitely got those flavors in the second dessert.
That is so much fun, right?
Yeah,
to get
so
to work as a team on something like that. And there's more than just that going on as well, Shannon. Tell us about some of the other details that people can expect at this year's gala.
It's an incredible event, and it starts actually on August 20th with a silent auction. The auction opens at 10 a.m. and it closes the day before the event. So it closes on September the 4th. There's wonderful prizes, whether it's golf packages, getaways, great items. So certainly encourage people to look at that silent auction. There'll also be a live auction at the event with some incredible prizes, topped off with a diamond ring by Maison d'Or. So we're really looking forward to that. There is never a shortage of activity within the room at this event, whether it's bands and music that will be playing or incredible fireworks that happen at the end of the evening that are really second to none. It's beautiful.
And Clifford, putting this together as well, I believe you have, a bourbon tasting?
Yes.
Is that happening
Yeah,
as well? Why that in
an
particular?
exclusive event with this bourbon tasting. It was very pleased. We started. We did one last year. It was really popular. So and nice and exclusive for some of the big donors and that kind of stuff that come in. So it's paired with a little bit of food. Again, I have to involve food with everything. So we do the bourbon tasting. You get your tasting, you get your explanation on it, a little bit of food to taste with it, and then you're out into the rest of the party. So
I guess so. There's a sort of a VIP kind of
we have a separate
thanking
room.
sponsors and that sort of thing.
We have a VIP event downstairs before the event. We have the bourbon tasting as well. So we're going to work on a tequila tasting too. So we're going to surprise, but not so much anymore. So we're going to incorporate that as well into the event.
What about in the decor? Are you bringing that rock theme into the decor side of things?
Huge.
And how are you doing that?
We are. It's all themed. So everything's themed. We have I forget who was doing it. Darn, now I'm going to get in trouble.
They'll forgive you. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's live television.
We have it all themed this year. Big couches. Mainly, I focus on the food, so all stainless steel tables, all black decor kind of thing. So a lot of fun picture booths or photo booths, photo opportunities. Harley Davidson motorcycles there for photo
Really?
ops. So many. There's so many cool,
That is amazing.
cool little things. Working on things like forever bracelets, possible tattoos, that kind of stuff. So it could be,
I love it.
It's gonna be
and always
whole bunch of stuff
surprises.
going
I mean, we're telling everybody at home a little bit some of the things you can expect, but I guarantee you each and every year there's some surprises as well. Shannon, of course, tickets are on sale right now. This sells out each and every year.
Absolutely.
Best place to get tickets for everybody at home.
brookstreethotel.com/Lumiere. Tickets are $220 for individual tickets or $2,000 for a group package of 10. It is a great combination of community and corporate sponsors coming together, and it is just the best night.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And ending with fireworks. I mean, there's not many galas out there in Ottawa that end in fireworks. Thanks to you both. Really appreciate the time. Just want to remind everyone, Brook Street Hotel on September the 5th at 6 to 10 p.m. brookstreethotel.com/Lumiere to get your tickets. As I said, they will sell out, so get them fast. We'll be back with more right after this.
The Order of Ottawa celebrates outstanding citizens. Recipients come from diverse backgrounds. They make exceptional contributions in many areas of city life. They are advocates for minorities. They are media experts and visionaries in community building, innovators in healthcare, leaders in education. They are technology leaders and entrepreneurs. They entertain us. They are passionate about arts and culture. They are outstanding citizens and members of the Order of Ottawa. Who inspires you? Who will you nominate?
join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Bless you.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Now, I know everybody says, this time of year it's grilling and barbecue season. As far as I'm concerned, that's all year round. And the beauty of my next guest is maybe, you don't want to do it yourself. They will do it all for you. I'm joined by Matt Floss. He is the founder of Meetings Barbecue. Matt, welcome back. Great to have you back on the show.
Thanks so much for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Last time you were on, I asked the same question about the history and the inspiration behind it, but I don't assume all of our viewers, saw that particular segment. So tell us a little bit about the history and how you got involved here.
For sure, man. So Meetings was founded in 2012. My dad's backyard, basically. I just dropped out of university, moved back home with my dad. My dad got a green egg smoker.
Okay.
As we're talking barbecues and smokers. And I was watching this YouTube show, Epic Mealtime. These guys from Montreal that would create these epic meals, Jack Daniels, bacon strips, bacon strips, bacon strips. So I'd invite my friends over. I'd go to Laverne, the butcher shop in Avon, as we talked about.
I was just there on the weekend.
And try and recreate something, but something, delicious and amazing, and obviously with the smoking element and the grilling element of the big green egg. And so I was doing that all summer, every weekend almost, having friends over, and I started developing this understanding and appreciation for the fact of all these boisterous guys can be silenced very quickly with some delicious meat and some delicious food.
Nice.
So then it got me thinking. I was like, this is pretty interesting. The love that you get after, the smiles after, the joy that food can bring. So I started developing, a little bit of likingness to this feeling. So, and then it was after my dad and I did a pig roast in a big oil drum. So it was a bicycle wheel and a dryer motor with a belt to get the pig spinning. And then I had a bunch of family and friends come over, and then people started asking me to bring this machine and do a pig roast for their party. So, the wheels got spinning there, the business ideas started flowing, and so I was like, okay, well, that's a pretty cool concept, but this thing, it takes 4 guys to move around. It's, it's a kind of a hunk of junk type thing.
Yeah.
So, I'm pondering about it, and then I was watching Dragon's Den one day, about a couple weeks later, and there was a commercial pig roaster on Dragon's Den. So this company from St. Catharines, Ontario, this guy Alan was wheeling it on the stage kind of like this, and all stainless steel, shiny, super easy to move around with one guy. And he's pitching his franchise model of how they do catering, pitching his machine that they patented and sell. So I Googled them. And again, synchronicities aligning. They were doing a demo in Ottawa 2 weeks later.
No way.
At a barbecue store in the West End, Capital Barbecue.
Oh, I know Capital.
Yeah,
great
guys,
spot.
right?
Absolutely.
Great guys, barbecue
Love
heaven
those guys.
for all of us. All of us
it's like an adult candy store, I call it. Yeah.
Steph Legary always refers it to the same time.
Oh, yeah,
the
that's
toy
right,
store.
Steph.
The toy
I love
store.
it. Yeah.
And then so I met with them there, and they actually invited me down to St. Catharines, Ontario, to come do an event. So they invited me down to stay at their house for the weekend. Super nice couple, and we went and did the Man Show. So it was an event.
Yeah. I know the one.
Obviously, different kind of vendors are there, and so Pig Out was the company. They had a booth. So they put me in a chef jacket. Never worn a chef jacket before in my life. That was okay. A little nervous, palms are sweating. Like, okay, put some gloves on, go stand behind our chef, and just watch and pull the meat off the pig. And my aha moment was basically pulling the meat off and looking up and seeing 100 dudes in line. I was like, okay, it's not just my friends that want this stuff. There's
yeah.
obviously a market for it. So I came back home, tried to beg my dad to buy this thing for me. It was $5,000, you know. So after dropping out of university at 21 years old, I didn't have a lot of change in the old bank account. So he kind of laughed it off. You know, no one's gonna hire me. I have no culinary experience. I'm not a chef. I'm not a businessman. You know, I'm 21 years old.
Right.
But I was pretty persistent. So after a few months of kept on probing, you know, finally he says, "Okay, Matt, let's sit down at the dinner table. I have an idea. You sell your car, buy this pig roaster, and you can use my truck for the first year to kind of test this concept out." So obviously I was pretty excited about that idea, and basically did that. Sold my Toyota Matrix for the pig roaster, bought a little trailer, and then conceptualized a meeting. So initially meetings was supposed to be the pig, beer, and outdoor games, and that would be hosting a meeting for people.
Nice.
And so I partnered with Beau's Brewery, and they gave me, you know, a cooler with the dispensing handles in it to provide beer to the guests. And so I had this first inaugural meeting at my family home where all those backyard barbecues were happening. Invited a bunch of family and friends over, and then people started calling. You know, birthday parties, bachelor parties, and then all of a sudden, some from Beau's Brewery was getting married in the fall. They said, "Hey Matt, you know, we hear we're doing a medieval themed wedding, and we hear, you know, you bring the full pig. Can you also do ribs? Can you also do salads? Can you do side dishes? Can you do tables, chairs, and tents?" And I was like, writing all this down, like, yeah,
I can do that.
I can do that. You know, for sure.
Meanwhile, sweating on the phone, going, "How am I going to get all of this stuff? What is happening?"
Yeah.
And that's what's been incredible, I think, about you, Matt, and that you've changed the business so often, right? Because you've evolved so much.
Yeah.
Where are we at today?
Yeah. So 12 years later, we've got a few different locations. So catering is still the bread and butter of our business. Now we have 4 of those pig roasters, which we use for multiple events. So we've got 3 trucks and trailers go out across the city. So typically a Saturday, 3 weddings.
Wow.
Everywhere from Alexandria to Dunrobin to Chelsea to Manotick. So we're traveling all across the city, which is very cool.
No kidding.
And then we operate a couple restaurants. So we partner with Beau's Brewery. Well, it's not a Beau's Brewery, but Broadhead Brewery.
Broadhead, yes.
In Orleans, where we do the food there. And we're going to be moving in a couple months as well.
What do you mean by that, moving in? Like, you're going to be the...
We do the food there now, but it's kind of like tap room brewery kind of style. So it's tacos and, you know, paninis and salads and our wings. It's not the full true barbecue menu that we used to have pre-COVID. As we'll talk about, you know, during COVID, we had to adapt.
Yeah.
So then we also run the restaurant in the Richcraft Sunsplex, so the East End.
I
coined it the Puck Stop now. That was actually one of my grandmother's ideas to call it that, because it was called the Meeting Sports Bar, but there was a lot of confusion between the meetings or whatever.
Right.
So we came up with this new concept, the Puck Stop. And then we've been doing that for 3 years now. And then during COVID, we started our retail line. So I remember the call that I got on the Friday before when that lockdown happened, right before St. Paddy's Day weekend. We were supposed to be doing a huge event for, I think, 1,000 people at the Horticulture Building downtown.
This story. Yeah.
And I had, I think, 21 smoked meats, basically, that we had been curing for 14 days, all prepped, ready to go, all this coleslaw.
Everything canceled.
And then canceled.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, because this is like the cliffhanger. You know what I'm saying? We're on a cliffhanger here, Matt. But this is an amazing story. So it's COVID, it's 1,000 people. The event gets canceled, but Matt and his team go, "You know what? I think we have something we can do here." So we'll be back to finish that story and to talk more about the products right in front of me here. We'll be back with more after this.
Think it's okay to drive high? Think again. Drug-impaired driving is as illegal as drunk driving, and in Ontario, the penalties are the same. If police suspect you're driving under the influence of drugs of any kind, or a combination of drugs and alcohol, and you fail a roadside test, your license will be suspended immediately for up to 30 days. You'll pay a penalty of $198. And you can be charged with a criminal offense of impaired driving, the same as alcohol. Driving high is never okay.
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV. I'm Ramon DeFranco. Exciting news for a green future. The federal government, through Natural Resources Canada, is backing community-led projects aimed at increasing awareness and adoption of electric vehicles. The focus is on educating the public about the benefits of all types of EVs, including e-bikes. For more details about the Zero Emission Vehicle Awareness Initiative, visit natural-resources-canada.ca. The Ottawa Humane Society is gearing up for their annual Wiggle Waggle Walk and Run on Sunday, September 29th at Great Lawn at Lansdowne Park. Your pets can make some new friends and take part in activities for a chance to win some amazing prizes. Sign up at ottawahumane.ca and registration closes on September 22nd. Watch Derek Fage's Daytime every weekday at 2 p.m. on Rogers TV 22.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Oh, we left you on that cliffhanger. We are back with Matt Floss. He is the founder of Meetings Barbecue, and we were explaining, well, you were explaining, Matt, that, okay, the pandemic hits, you have to cancel this event, so you and your team started, with your creative juices flowing.
Yes, pun intended.
Innovation again, right?
Exactly. So we just bought a used vacuum sealer a couple months before, so we basically took our products that we had that we typically serve fresh in our restaurant and figured out a way to get them to our consumers. People still want to eat, right? Despite everything closed down. So here you have our retail products. We have our beef brisket as we have right here. So we take this brisket that's been smoked for 12, 14 hours, slice it up, cool it, vacuum seal it. Basically, you can order from our website, get it delivered directly to your house.
Amazing.
You have 14 hours smoked brisket, 10 minutes to reheat, and you've got this delicious, juicy, melt in your mouth goodness.
Well, and then you have your line of rubs, and you've got sauces as well, right? I mean, these are your recipes, right? That you've created over the years.
Yeah,
amazing.
Amazing. So
we're going to do a little preparation here. What are you going to make for us here?
So at Broadhead Brewery, I was saying, one of our partners where we serve the food. We might as well have a beer with our barbecue.
We can have I would not turn down a beer, my friend.
September 4th, we're doing a barbecue platter party at Broadhead Brewery.
Okay.
So we'll be serving up our delicious, brisket that we've smoked. This is a New England IPA.
Okay.
We've got the light.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
And beer pairs perfectly with barbecue.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Here we have it. Our brisket, like I said, been smoked for 14 hours. So we're gonna make a little taco today.
Okay.
So I like to, get a couple of the slices of the fatty side of the brisket, chop it up. You can see can you smell it? I can smell it. I'm salivating, and I see this stuff all the time.
What rub have you used for the brisket?
So it's our proprietary own beef rub.
Okay.
Salt, pepper, garlic, and a couple extra little.
We can't give away the secrets.
Yeah, exactly. But so we put the dry rub on before the evening before it goes in the smoker, and then we've got a rotisserie style smoker, so it goes in there overnight. The juices constantly basting the pork dripping onto the brisket, the pork and brisket dripping into the beans. We smoke our beans overnight for 12, 14 hours. Very rich and delicious. At Broadhead, like I mentioned, we serve tacos. So we've got some pico de gallo, some slaw, some pickled onions. If you a little bit of spice in your life.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay,
No, I'm all for the jalapeno.
Yeah. Okay, so you tell me what you want.
It's probably a little dangerous on live television for me, but you know what? I'm willing to do it for the good viewer.
We're here for
viewer.
it.
Sorry.
My favorite sauce out of all the sauces that we do, the Bama barbecue sauce.
It's so good.
It's so good, and it pairs so good with the brisket, even with chicken too. But that horseradish kind of taste, with the beef, It just...
Oh, I told you, I just finished a jar.
Yeah,
right?
well, you're lucky we'll have one there for you to take home again. So I like to do a little bit of Bama on top there.
Okay. So is this like a mayo base?
It's a mayo
right?
base, exactly. With, like I said, the horseradish. There's a little bit of cayenne there, so you get a little bit of heat.
And you know, you don't see a lot of mayo base barbecue sauces out there. And some people, you know, listening right now may think to themselves, I don't know, just try it.
Right.
I was amazed at how good it was. And as you said, chicken, beef, it doesn't really matter what you put it on. It's
so
fantastic.
Versatile. I was honestly never a big sauce guy. Our style of barbecue is Texas style. So just focusing on the dry rub, the seasonings, and the wood that you use.
Yeah.
No sauce. Some of the places I went down to in Texas, no sauce in the whole restaurant.
Yeah, you know, I'm not surprised to hear that.
It's sacrilegious in some areas. Obviously, barbecue is so regional. You go to the Kansas Cities, you go to Tennessee.
Yes.
It's everywhere is different. You got your sweet sauces, your vinegar-based sauces, your mustard sauces. But yeah, I found that during my little tour there, that Texas was.
Well, and you had to, right? You're in the business. You've got to go and do your research.
Man, exactly.
Absolutely.
Travel for food.
R&D.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So when people go to Broadhead for do they help you with, you know, the beer pairings depending on what you're eating?
Yes,
that
exactly.
Kind of thing?
So the whole menu basically goes through all of our menu items.
Okay.
And what beer pairs perfectly with it. So there's the 3 C's: complement, contrast, and cut.
Okay.
So depending on what you're trying to do, so obviously beef, brisket, very fatty, very rich. So typically you'd want something to kind of cut that fattiness. So that's why I really like the light, because it's so crisp and refreshing. And then you take a bite of this rich meat and then wash it down with a little bit of cold light beer. It works well. And yeah, the Nipa, they've got amazing beers. The Blueberry Blonde is a big fan favorite.
I love that.
Right?
Oh, it's so good.
And now they've got a non-alcoholic version of it.
Oh, do they really?
Do, yeah.
Oh, that's
Blueberry
fantastic.
Blonde is flying off the shelves.
And yeah, because that side of the industry, the non-alcoholic, the cocktails and the beers and the wine, have they ever come a long way, right? And people have been looking for it, right? They want to feel like they're enjoying and indulging as well. But
exactly.
For the platter party itself, do people need to get tickets ahead of time?
Yeah, so you can reserve online on our website to get seats.
Okay.
We have capacity in there, and the past few ones that we've had have been sellouts. So the earlier that you book your reservation, the better. And like I said, you get to enjoy some of this delicious barbecue. It's a great environment there, great atmosphere. We have some live music too.
Oh, nice.
A nice patio. It's a great spot if you guys haven't been to.
And there you have live music consistently, right? Like on a weekly basis.
Like Friday and Saturday, sometimes on Sundays. They do bingo on Thursday nights, trivia on Tuesday nights. So they got a lot of stuff going on there. It's a good spot.
Should we try a little bite of this before we let the viewers go here?
Do you like a little chipotle mayo for a little cake too?
Yeah, I'll give that a go.
Hopefully we don't get any sauce on you for the rest of your segments.
Well, let's be careful we don't get too much of a close-up here. All right, cheers.
Cheers,
Taco,
brother.
cheers. Here we go. Oh my goodness. That.
Sometimes I surprise myself even, after not having it for so long.
Well, and as you said, the fat, giving it that moisture that's just perfection. Like you think of that, 12 to 14 hours, some people might think, oh, that's gonna dry out the meat.
Oh yeah.
Not if you do it properly.
Not if you do it properly. That's why brisket is the king of barbecue, because it is the hardest to cook and to get right. Because I've smoked a lot of briskets and I've smoked a lot of dry ones for sure before in the day.
You've learned, right? It's part of that.
Yeah.
It's part of that R&D.
That's it, man. Trial and error
you can of
every
course
time.
visit you guys online. You can visit them in person as well. They got a great place. Again, the Platter Party is happening September 4th, 5 to 9 p.m. Meetings.ca to get your tickets. Tell them you saw them on Daytime as well. Okay? We'll be back with more. Right?
Today, I helped a parent feed their family by connecting them to a food program.
Today, I helped someone connect with mental health supports.
Today, I helped a couple struggling to pay their bills access financial aid.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
I'm Sam LaPrade. I hope you join us for an hour to give right here on Rogers TV. We're going to talk about everything that is going to inspire you about this beautiful city.
When I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, I was deteriorating in front of everybody.
All my life, I lived with sickle cell. I went through a tragic crisis that put me in a coma for 3 weeks. While I was in there, I received a lot of blood to put me in a healthier state.
I was given the plasma then through IVIG. Even though that happened so long ago, it still has a massive impact on me today.
Thanks to donors, I can live another life.
Because of you, I will be seeing my grandchild.
Are you a content creator looking to expand your audience and make your voice heard in your community? Rogers TV wants to provide you with a platform to share your hobbies, interests, and stories for free. Visit us to find out more.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade, host of Ottawa Business Matters. We're going to gather here every single week and speak about business here in the capital. We're going to inspire, influence, and inform.
A lot of focus on food today, my friends, and a lot of focus on great events. We've been talking about fantastic events throughout the show, and we continue that with my next guest. Of course, you'll recognize him, a regular on the show, David Godso, Executive Chef over at the 18 Hospitality Group and the Food and Beverage Director. Welcome. Great to have you back here.
Thank you so much.
You were impressed with the last segment?
What a show. What a show.
Between Clifford here and yourself and
it still smells like brisket. I was saying earlier, I had my baby shower last weekend, and I smoked a bunch of briskets for it. And
nice.
We had a wonderful time. So I'm in brisket heaven right now.
You're in heaven. I love it. Well, you're here today, Dave, to talk about an event that you're really excited about. And for people that aren't familiar with Partage Vanier, my understanding is it's the food bank in all of Ontario that gets more use than any. Is that right?
That's correct. It is the most utilized food bank in Ontario, and a testament to the tough times that we're in through the pandemic. I know we were talking earlier about the pandemic. They saw their utilization go up 30% in 2021, and then an additional 30% in 2022.
Wow.
So they're really, really heavily relied upon. And this fundraiser that we're doing next week on the 21st is really one of their biggest, if not their biggest, fundraising event that they have. And it's a really, really cool. I'm really excited to talk about it because it's a 200-person dinner in the middle of Beechwood Cemetery.
Wow.
We set up a bunch of tents and a whole outdoor kitchen, and we're bringing like Restaurant 18 right into the cemetery. So we're super fortunate. We're taking over the event from Fraser's, which just recently closed with Ross.
Right.
Him and I had a great chat. We had a nice little handoff. We talked about the event and his challenges and what we can expect. So we're really, really excited to support such a good cause and to put on a beautiful 4-course dinner in the middle of a cemetery.
We're going to talk some food too, right? Because you just said there's challenges, right? You're trying to take what you do at all your restaurants with the 18 Hospitality Group and you bring it to. When you go on location, like what are the challenges that we probably don't realize?
Probably the biggest one is that you don't have the comfort of just everything is just already in its place.
Right.
Like I need a spatula. I got a whole bin of spatulas.
Right.
I need a pan. Like I got a whole bunch of pans. Where you're out there, you got to think of every little touch that goes onto the plate. It's not a whole lot different than to coming here and preparing a dish here.
Right.
We got to think about all the little components that we have.
We've been training you.
We've been training
all this time. Dave.
This is training for that moment.
Yeah.
So it's really just you're out of your element. So you're in a new environment. You only have one shot to get it right, and you're dealing with 200 people with a lot of them will have dietary restrictions,
right?
And you don't have that giant walk-in fridge full of food to pull from. So a little bit of creativity, a little bit of extra planning. We almost have 2 menus planned. We have the regular menu, and then we have an allergy, sort of gluten-free, dairy-free, easily modifiable touches that still allow them to have the full experience.
Right.
The last thing I hate to do is when someone's got some sort of dietary restriction is say, okay, well here's a couple leaves of lettuce and a tomato. Like still want to be a part of it, have the similar pairings, you know, so you can still have the same wine pairings that everybody else is having. So we're having fun with it.
What have we got in front of us here? What are you making here?
So I'm going to be preparing the second course for this dinner. It's a beautiful duck carpaccio, a nice light little salad.
Okay.
We're getting the ducks from Rougy Farms. So it's. I think I've made something similar to this before, actually pretty recently on the show. So we've got a little bit of maple vinegar with some fresh cherries.
Oh, nice.
I got some nice bitter greens that I'm going to dress slightly with this olive oil and vinegar. And then we have a few touches here. So I have some pickled mustard seeds, just to add a little bit of bite and a little bit of texture.
Oh yeah, when they pop in your mouth,
it's like
so
little,
good.
Like little pop rocks.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of brown butter roasted hazelnuts. I'll put that over there.
Little crunch.
Little crunch.
To add there.
We're in one of my favorite times of year, so we're dealing with stone fruits a lot. I have like a mountain of nectarines and peaches and plums.
Nice.
And of course cherries, which is what we're highlighting here. A little bit of acidic pickled pearl onions.
Which is, that's something that I love that you guys do, the fact that you're using, a lot of people at home, right, they don't perhaps incorporate fruits into their meals, right? They think of it as a dessert or a breakfast item, but you can really enhance a dish, can't you?
Of course. And one of my favorite things, like we were talking about barbecue stuff, like pork and peaches, or even throwing these things on the grill, like grilled peaches, grilled nectarines, grilled plums. They're not just meant to just throw in your lunchbox and snack on throughout the day.
So have you guys got the menu set already?
We do have the menu set already. So course one, we're using, I think I might have done this on a show past as well, our famous octopus. So we're showcasing a little bit of 18.
Yeah.
This, what looks like might be a small turkey, is actually a chicken from a beautiful farm out in Plantagenet called Ferme Refuse.
Okay.
They do pasture-raised chicken, amazing farm. I went to go visit them last week, was blown away by what they're doing. Rotational cropping, so they basically have these giant chicken tractors, and every day they just move it. They like open up the floodgates and they let the chickens come out, and then they move it, and they're just snacking on bugs and whatever they might have.
So cool. Yeah.
And he raises, this is very different than the chicken that you'll see in the grocery store.
Absolutely. It's about twice the size, right?
Yeah, so some of these are 3.5, 4 kilos, hormone free, raised the way they should be. And I will say that with a lot of different proteins, there's a very big difference. Some of them, like, you don't have the biggest difference between quality.
Right.
Chicken is one of those where you'll really, really taste the quality between those tiny little birds you'll get in the grocery store.
You know what? I'm going to wrap up the show with you. I usually wrap up the show alone, but we're going to take a little break. We'll come back with Dave. We'll tell you how you can get tickets to this fantastic event. It's coming up on August the 21st. I can't think of a better outdoor venue for you to sit and have a gourmet meal courtesy of Dave and his team. So we'll give you all those details on how you can get tickets and wrap things up right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
As promised, we are back with David Godso from the 18 Hospitality Group because we need to give everybody the details. So we told everybody, obviously, the menu is going to be fantastic, beverages included as well, but give everybody else the other details.
Yeah, so we have a few amazing sponsors that are really helping, and they're really what makes this event. So on top of this beautiful farm that we're dealing with for our chicken, Rito Pines is donating almost all of our produce needs. Wow. Mario Fine Foods has donated some octopus for us. Reef Estate Winery, Talia, who works with us at 18, is working her butt off, running around the city, picking up stuff. Whalesbone has helped us out. Mark Motors is one of our premier sponsors, and the decor is all going to be done by Lulu Lounge.
Oh, wonderful.
And they did a wonderful job last year. Last year's theme was lemons, so the whole beautiful table. I wish I had some pictures for you guys. Lemons everywhere. So this year's theme is going to be more French lavender theme. So our dessert's going to be a lemon lavender tart. Actually, Talia grew the lavender herself. She's bringing it to the restaurant right now. I'm hoping she's already done that.
Amazing.
Because my pastry chef is waiting there, waiting there for it.
Before we run out of time, partagebeechwood.com to get your tickets. You can go to the Beechwood Cemetery website as well. They'll have a link to that.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Some of Canada's most interesting and accomplished people share their lives, careers, insights, and stories each week on Canada Files. I'm Valerie Pringle, and I'll be speaking with economist Mark Carney, actor Eugene Levy, author Louise Penny, and architect Moshe Safdie, among others. I hope you can join us.
Join us Monday to Friday on Daytime Ottawa as we showcase some of the fabulous things that are happening in your city. We'll showcase